Fact: days after Pablo Neruda's death, an eagle was found violently flapping its wings within the boarded-up house he had called home. Speculation number one. Neruda had built the eagle's nest twig by twig, poem by poem, and had warmed its egg for a lifetime.
We're living in such an interesting time, the time of texting, the time of internet, the time of constant barrage of information, and it really affects human connectedness.
Culture wants to define us. The pressures to become similar, to become alike, to have a clique, to be a culture are very strong. And that's important. But the individual always must supersede the culture.
So this is the sound of you, here and now. Whether or not anyone hears it, this is where we have come with our age, our knowledge, such as it is, and our hopes, such as they are, invisible before us, untouched, and still possible. All ethnicities at one time believed in the power of language, that, that a person would stand over their fields and speak to it. Magic can happen.
To get up and speak your truth is a very brave thing to do. I've been doing spoken word events, primarily in the format of poetry slam.
When I was young, I used to dream about being an adult, but it all came to a halt as time went by. And now I see why people told me to stay young. You see all these kids, giving you intimate looks into their lives, and that's always really interesting.
The beauty of poetry is that it's a structure that doesn't really exist in the human language. It's an elevated place. It's an elevated state of language.
Speculation number two. Neruda's soaring spirit coalesced into the winged wonder.
I just want to be out there. I don't want to be in the dark. I want to express myself to other people, not just myself. If you kind of get what I'm saying?
Depression is a war, a constant battle against yourself. I think I might surrender before I had enough.
I believe that everybody is a storyteller. First of all, I believe everybody has a story to tell, and I believe everybody's story is brilliant.
Speculation number three. The private in the Chilean security forces, whose job it was to board up Neruda's house, had read 20 poemas de amor, and in his first act of defiance had placed the magical bird within the house for all to hear, for all to see, for all to wonder.
They need to examine the scar, but not expose or open the wound. And when they get out there and they do just that, to the point that the audience is going, oh yeah, me too, there is such a connection of humanity.
Kids don't have an opportunity to really express themselves creatively in schools anymore with the testing and the whole environment, the way it's set up. So it's very cool that, these artists can come into schools and do this and give them just a little, inkling of what it is to, connect to your body, your heart, and your mind and express.
Allow me the chance to stitch my own wounds, not for you to heal, but for me to bear. Allow me to pick up the pieces of my broken world.
Poetry is important to me because it is a way for me to express myself through writing, because sometimes words that you speak do not come out as clearly as when you write them. And for me, it's a way to express myself and let out all the pain and anger I've ever felt.
Speculation number four. Spirit bird Pablo, flying heavenward, suddenly turned back to earth, squeezed in between the rough planks that shuttered his home, and furiously searched to retrieve the ink pen he was sure to need.
No more envelope seals with bills you can't pay. You just lay there. See, this is why stories mean a lot.
And it's really great for me to see a kid who doesn't think he or she can write at all. And in the course of the class, they come out with this just slamming poem.
So live life with laughter. And there isn't a price or an amount.
High school is a very intense and stressful and hormonal and rapidly changing time. And so if you're able to set those feelings down on paper, that's a great first step. Even better if you're able to share that out.
And I memorized it. An interruption has caused our world's corruption.
It's cathartic, it gets it off your chest, and when other people are relating back to you, when an audience responds to you, you realize that what you are going through and what you are experiencing, what you are, is just fine, and that other people have felt the same things that you do, and you're not alone. It's the opposite of loneliness. It's a coming together.
Speculation number 5. This was Neruda's last unfinished poem, and so great was its longing for completion that it sprouted wings to seek his signature.